Aftershock, the strongest yet in China, tens of thousands more homes destroyed. Nature's fury, a weekend of devastating tornadoes in the Midwest. Falling apart, why much of the nation's water supply is in critical condition. And marine mission. On this Memorial Day weekend, one man dedicated to bringing the fallen home.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. Just when it seems the situation in China cannot get any worse, a strong aftershock to this month's devastating earthquake has leveled tens of thousands more homes, injured hundreds of people, and further complicated recovery efforts. And it hit just after officials declared the death toll from the original May 12th quake at more than 62,000 and warned it could reach 80,000. Today's 6.0 magnitude quake killed at least one person and was centered in the already devastated Sichuan region. But it was felt hundreds of miles away in Beijing, and that's where NBC's Mark Mullen begins our coverage tonight.
The security camera records a man frantically dashing for the door. A reaction now wearily familiar to tens of millions in Sichuan province every time there is an aftershock. And today's was the strongest yet, felt almost 1,000 miles away in Beijing. The aftershock measured not only by rattled nerves, but also new casualties and damage. An additional 70,000 already weakened homes damaged or destroyed. Today's quake will only add to China's already massive challenge of housing 5 million people. That's the combined population of Chicago and Houston. Refugees are picking up, packing up, using anything on wheels to find shelter. Many will live in tent cities like this one in Dujiangyan. That's if they can find a tent. Authorities here have already provided 400,000 tents, but now they are telling the world they need 3 million more. Settling the homeless is not the only challenge. China now faces the staggering task of reconstruction, sometimes of entire cities. Like Bechuan, once a community of 161,000, now reduced to rubble. The government vows to rebuild an entirely new city in a new location. But the price tag for this and other new construction is huge, $10 billion to start. And that's if there's no further damage. With rainy season coming, officials said today they are now concerned about the strength of 69 dams and the threat of flooding from dozens of so-called quake lakes, which formed when landslides blocked rivers. Crews today trying to drain this lake away from evacuated homes. There was some good news this weekend. Rescues are still taking place, including this 80-year-old survivor trapped for almost 12 days and pulled from the rubble alive. At this point, Sichuan province needs any break. Few thinking that before today's aftershock and the harm it caused, China's worst disaster in 30 years could get any worse. Mark Mullen, NBC News, Sichuan Province, China.